A couple of days back, a guy called Deconverted Man had done a review of one of my videos, which I appreciate, for the record, but I hadn't really got into it that far. There was kind of an issue early on, and yeah. So in the original video that he was reviewing of mine, I had been talking about Matt Dillahunty, and I believe I had safely inferred that Matt Dillahunty, in the way of evidence for God, he wanted something that was falsifiable and testable, right? He wanted something that was direct and definitive, and that he could just throw all the testing he wanted at, and it would still hold true. And I believe kind of Deconverted Man was kind of in the same vein. I think he would agree with Matt Dillahunty in that way. And it feels like this is flawed as a methodology, as a standard for evidence, I guess, in that we don't apply this to almost anything. I can imagine certain scientific scenarios in which you could maybe apply it, but overwhelmingly it feels like we don't, right? I know this is the case because the overwhelming majority of information we have, the things we believe, are derived from secondary sources. Like you hear it from someone who hears it from someone who might have done the testing themselves. We don't do the legwork ourselves, right? So the things we know, the things we believe, are derived from indirect evidence. Someone telling us about them. Someone telling us about someone who told them about it, right? History is a great example of this, right? In theory, we believe that historical events actually occurred at some point. At some point, they were a tangible event that people saw and heard, and they experienced them. But the further away you get from it, the more indirect the method by which you learn about it, right? What do we have of history? We have stories, we have oral traditions, we have legends, right? We have records and witness testimony. Sometimes you might even have some sort of geological evidence that would be in favor of a certain interpretation of such and such an event. But you don't have any type of direct evidence. History doesn't definitively prove things. I believe historians would do what you would call, they would defer to the best explanation, like the thing that explains all of the facts involved. And to my mind, this methodology that Matt Dillahunty and perhaps maybe Deconverted Man and maybe even like the broader community of atheism in general like would espouse to some extent, this methodology, if they applied it equally, if they applied it across all fields equally, this monomania with direct evidence would put them in the same category as like flat earthers or moon landing conspiracy theorists. Anyways, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please press the like button, subscribe, and leave a comment if you want to.